Hello everyone, this is game 2 of our online club championship. I'm playing black this game. My strategy is very similar to last game. Elliott plays quite a lot of openings, so I haven't done any specific prep, just my general stuff. So I typically play knight f6 against this. I'll keep it nice and vanilla until I sort of get an idea of how he's going to respond. The London. Well, I could play d6, but I don't remember my prep for that. Let's see. Let's go ahead and play it anyway. Just trying to blunt the scope of this dark squared bishop right away. And we might look to win it at some point with it using our knight. So we're essentially playing something of a King's Indian defense against it. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for this. I wonder if I can just go for this knight h5 now. Well, I think the variation I have a problem with is knight h5, bishop here, h6, bishop back, and then when I push g5, this knight can just capture. That's a small issue. I think I may just go ahead and play h6 and just stop that right now. It looks really funny, but we want to have our bishop being cut out, and we want this dark square bishop to be gone. That way it makes it that much more difficult to attack our king side. Okay, not too bad. So it looks like we can just go ahead and win the dark squared bishop now. Sure, let's go for it. And maybe this is too early. I'm not even entirely sure if this is an opening line at all, but it has a very definite plan in mind, and I'm certain we can get away with it. Okay. And the convenient thing is, we don't even actually have to take that bishop yet. It's not really going anywhere. I guess I guess it could go there. Do we care that much about that? Because ideally I'd like to be able to delay it, and only capture after he's castled so that he doesn't have an open rook file. We'll go ahead and capture now. That was why we played h6, so that the bishop couldn't go to h5. Okay, and we'll just develop like normal and get ourselves castled as soon as possible. Still not even entirely sure where I want my pieces. I was going to say maybe c5 will be played, but after c3 maybe not. Maybe that's not entirely wise. And now that we're one move away from castling, I think I'm actually going to hold off on castling. I'm going to wait till he does it with this, since this rook is there. And I may even come and pin this knight at some point. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where I want my queenside knight. I would maybe like to put it here to facilitate either c5 or e5, gives me some flexibility, and I don't want to be blocking my light square bishop in when I decide to do that. Let's see, c5 does bring our queen out this way, and it does a good job attacking the dark squares. So probably that's sort of idea that I'm going to go for. So let's go ahead and I think play this bishop move right now. We're fine. There's no queen check winning the bishop because the pawn's in the way. And even if there was, we could always just pull back here. So everything seems to be going somewhat okay. I'm beginning to think he's just going to castle queenside. I also thought he might go for something like this, which maybe I should have taken more care in preventing. Maybe I should have played c5 first. So the bishop here maybe looks a little weak. I should definitely be taking more time on these moves. So if I knew he was castled queenside or kingside, then I might just go ahead and chop this, but since he's not necessarily castling queenside or kingside, I don't think that is really a damage to his pawn structure at all. So I think now is a good time to castle. Considering this is a potential sacrifice, and if he sacrifices here, then I feel somewhat okay about that. He'll get 3 pawns for the piece, but this is not really a huge deal. Oh, maybe he won't even get that much. Yeah. After bishop takes, I can take here right away, capture. He has this. Whoa. Yeah, I shouldn't do that because of the Zwischenzug. So bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, and then I do have this capture, and he should capture back, I believe. And then I do have rook f3, or rook f6. Sorry. I was too worried about playing queen e8 and getting the queen off the light squares. But after queen e8, he can just play rook takes h6, and that's where he would get his 3rd pawn. So, but I don't even need to allow that as long as I have rook to f6. So after bishop takes, my move is definitely just taking the bishop. And maybe I shouldn't have even allowed this. Maybe this is just totally crazy, and he's getting some kind of compensation. But I don't know. I don't feel that way. I feel like I'm still solid here. And besides, the deficit is still only 1-0, so he doesn't really need to go for anything crazy like this. He'll have plenty of other winning chances. Although if he was going for something like that, I imagine he wouldn't have played something like the London. He does have quite a lot of openings that he knows, and he's decent at playing e4 and playing for a win. I do think if he doesn't take it, I feel like my next move may very well just be queen e8, where I will just totally prevent that bishop sacrifice. I'm heavily inclined to play that now, after looking at this. I didn't see really any other way to prevent this, though, other than just not playing h6 earlier, but of course that's a little ridiculous. h6 is totally fine in these structures. Somewhat happy to be ahead in time. I think last game I wasn't, between thinking and then having to commentate as well. That does sort of drag you down on time a little bit. I guess now after this recent development, I'll likely not trade on f3 if I'm not forced to. I'd like to hold on to this bishop pair and at some point open up the position either with e5 or c5. So maybe I'll even pull my bishop back here instead of going queen e8. Although I think queen e8 is a totally fine move to play. It does give my queen some nice scope, just a nice diagonal to play with. So maybe that move is totally fine. Yeah, bishop h5 just doesn't look... If I ever do play bishop h5 to guard this, I think I'm running into weird things like the knight coming back and then this pawn pushing, and I just don't want to deal with that at all. That's just not good. Queen e8 seems much harder to punish if that's even possible. So now I think he's using so much time. I think he's looking at exactly what I've been talking about, this sacrifice here on g6. And it's worth looking at, but maybe he's using a little bit too much time. It's only move 9. I should do a quick check of my OBS. Okay, it looks like it is getting my entire screen. That's fantastic. Ah, interesting. Okay, so he's just going for this very cheap threat of playing queen takes here, and I definitely won't allow that. I mean, that's just totally absurd. I'm not even sure he's really putting any pressure on me with that move. Let's see, is he making me do anything that I really wasn't planning on doing anyway? So for example, I think I might just go ahead and I might just play bishop f5. I don't mind him playing e4, for instance. So, for example, like bishop f5, e4, and then my bishop just goes back to g4. Maybe I don't mind that position at all. I would much prefer that he push that e pawn so he can weaken his d4 square a little bit. And then when my bishop does go back, I might look to do things like finally trade this knight off, and then try to blast this position open. Because right now c5 or e5, it's what I'd like to do, but it looks somewhat meek since he does have these pawns guarding d4. So that might be something that I should look for. On the other hand, if I play bishop f5 and he just comes back with bishop d3, then I think I might look a little silly, because I don't really want to be trading off my bishop if I can avoid it. But I don't know, maybe I can't. I can also play d5, and then we'll have a structural change. The problem is if I play d5, then it's going to be that much harder to break this position open. Maybe that tempo is useful to have, though. His king is still in the center. That tempo may be useful. Actually, I'm inclined to believe that this tempo is very useful, actually. So after d5, the bishop moving back, and then maybe I do trade this knight, and then push e5 straight away. This could be something worth looking at. Oh, but then he takes it, and then my bishop takes, and then wherever we really gotten. I don't think we've really gotten anywhere. So perhaps not. Yeah, the problem with I'd love to play bishop f5, but I just maybe his light squared bishop is better than mine. I'm so I'm so hesitant to just trade off the bishop pair like that, though. On the other hand, I could just guard this piece. And if I guard this piece, after he plays queen takes, I can just push. And then that way I'm on his queen and his bishop. So that's possible as well. Maybe I'll do that. It's definitely a bit tricky, but is that really the best thing for my position? If I were to play a move like queen d7, what does that really accomplish? I'm not sure it accomplishes anything. Queen d7, it kind of looks like an ugly move. So maybe that is just playing for tricks. I've also considered things like just bishop e6. Oh no, of course not. No, bishop takes, and then this is hanging. I thought having 3 center pawns would be something I could look forward to, but that's not working. Okay, so what are the candidate moves? Candidate moves are bishop f5, d5, maybe queen d7. Ugh. I was potentially looking at h5. The problem is that it brings the knight in, and that's just annoying. I kind of like my pawn on h6 to keeping that knight from doing anything. So bishop f5, d5. Man, those are ugly moves. Maybe e6, but then this bishop doesn't really have anywhere to go. Interesting. Yeah, I don't really like any of my moves here. Maybe I can just play king here. Just not sure that does anything other than defend against the threat. I'd like to do multiple things with this move, if at all possible. That's why it's probably the first move I saw, but I immediately discarded it. King there also runs into ugly things like knight here. Yeah, that's just not working. That's ridiculous. There's no way that's a good move. So I guess it's between the two, bishop f5 or d5. And if I had to imagine a computer move, I don't know if I could see a computer going for this plan of bishop f5 and allowing e4. That's probably not what it would do. And maybe that's not the best thought process, but it could be better than the one I have. I think we're going to decide on just playing d5. Do I want to? Yeah, I think we'll just go for d5. I'm not super worried about this. Okay, and the bishop comes back, of course. Okay. So let's see. What do we do here now? Let's see. Do we chop the knight like we had planned? How's that looking? It's not looking so good. This sacrifice is becoming annoying again. Yeah, very unfortunate. I could play queen e8 now. That's definitely a thing that I could do, and just quickly defend against that sacrifice. Yeah, maybe queen e8's the play. Yeah, I rather like this, actually. Let's go for it. And if this comes here, I'm just chopping it. That would be way too strong of a piece. If this queen comes out here, I'm just playing queen c6. So this move has multiple benefits. After I do chop this knight, if he decides to move it there, which I don't think is a very good move, probably the new home for my king is going to be on g7, where I can defend this potential weakness with rook there, or or pushing to h5 if needed. And here I am using an insane amount of time over the last two moves. It's only move 11, so I have to speed it up a little bit. Yeah, and it looks like he's certainly just going to castle queenside. Maybe something I should have expected. Okay, so I can probably look to go for this now. That will halt his queenside castling. Yeah, I think I can look to go for this. Yeah, this looks solid. Yeah, there could be a few exchanges, but I think this is benefiting me. I guess after capture, he should probably ignore that and then just castle. Yeah, that's very likely. Ah, I'm hanging this. Yeah, I am hanging that. That's something I shouldn't be allowing. Yeah, that's not good. Bummer. I'd like to bring my knight out. The problem is he has queen here, and I really hope my position isn't just collapsing. Yeah, okay, so I definitely cannot take with that. Yeah, I have too many weaknesses here. That's a shame. Not at all sure here. Maybe that's something I can allow, though. Yeah, maybe I do need to give up some pawns to open this up a little bit. He hasn't castled yet, so it's going to be knight there or there. I need to recapture with the knight. Probably going to be knight here in case it does get pinned. I can actually do something about that. Yeah, so let's go knight there and recapture like this. I'm very happy I had this move because that's not at all what I was planning here. This is me trying to overcompensate for moving too quickly. I don't doubt, though, that I'll have plenty of chances in the endgame, even if I was down a pawn. So I am looking forward to that. This is just me trying to probably get too cute in the opening. A little bit too greedy, when maybe I should have just played for a solid position. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I figured just queen here was totally better, probably. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that move at all. Well, I wonder then. I wonder what I'm meant to do here, what the plan should be. Maybe I just play queen here and just guard. I feel like that's the play. He's giving me an opportunity to actually guard things and put my pieces on decent squares. The problem with queen here, though, is probably knight here. That would be incredibly annoying. Okay, yeah, so that's definitely not something that I should be looking at. Yeah, okay. So let's. I think we'll go ahead and just chop the knight here really quick. Unfortunately, I do have to give up this this bishop pair, but that's life. I made some mistakes, so that's my fault. I will at least get my pawn back, and I don't think this was the best move to take advantage of that, but he had plenty of options, that's for sure. I was kind enough to give him those options. So the problem is with this is that he's going to respond to this, and he should be taking. Yeah. And now the problem is after I capture here, we're in an opposite colored bishop game, so I need to play very dynamically, and I need to make weaknesses on the dark squares to use my dark squared bishop. If I can grab the initiative and make the focus be on the dark squares, I'll essentially have an extra piece. And I need to make sure he doesn't do the same, vice versa for the light squares. If neither one of us achieve our goals, then it's likely going to be a draw as we head into an opposite colored bishop endgame. So I will be looking to ramp up my play a little bit and perhaps play some moves that look a little suspect as the position gets sharper. That's just the nature of the beast. Okay, so I think what I'm going to look to do here is probably play c5, and I want to play c4. I don't know. Is he actually going to take that? Maybe I want to play f5 and just totally put a stop to that. Yeah, I'm liking f5 more and more. f5, and then what if he hits me with that? What do I do about that? That's like a significant problem. Yeah, I don't know if I'm equipped to handle that. Okay. What about here? Can I just move the weakness? Because it is a weakness. It's a very annoying weakness. Because I'd like to play c5 and just kick this bishop off this diagonal with c4 at some point. But I'm not at all sure if I can allow this bishop to take here. Maybe I can. No. I think I can allow that actually. Yeah, that seems okay. Okay, let's go for this. Yeah, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, and then I do have rook takes here. And then if he decides to take this pawn, then I have rook takes here for check, and then I can come back and scoop the rook. So he can't get very greedy here. And maybe he has another move with that bishop sacrifice, but I don't know. It certainly doesn't look like it. Certainly does not look like it. Nothing that I can see anyway. I should have maybe expected Elliott to play the London. As much as I've talked him up as playing different openings this series, he was very predictable in game one. He's played that Karrotspls variation against me before. For the same reason he plays the London, he wants just something very boring for some reason. And we've gotten the exact opposite of this, I think. Maybe a little bit of, maybe both of us had a bit of a hand in that, but. Oh, okay, so I'm not really sure what this is doing. Maybe after I play c4 he will look to sacrifice here, but that doesn't change much. I'll have that, and then am I just mating or is he mating? Okay, so he would be mating me one move quicker there. However, can I do that? Oh, okay, that does not work either. Okay, so it's very possible that he actually does have something here, something that I should actually take great care in defending against. I wonder if I can play f5 now, and then if he plays g4, I just play c4. I wonder if that's possible. I think that's actually working. Let's go for this. This is never going to be a weakness. He'll never sacrifice a rook there, and of course with my luck he's going to do it. But he maybe if his queen was on d1, and then he could swing it over or something. But even then I'll have I'm always going to have this rook to swing over as well. So I think f5 is the right call here. So I need to defend this first and strengthen my light squares before I can look for play against the dark squares on the queen side here. And unfortunately, I think his king is slightly safer than mine, but I'll look to change that over the course of the next few moves here. I want to play c4 to lock, well, to do two things: to get his bishop off this damn diagonal that's been causing me so much havoc, and also to lock this rook down away from being able to come over to the queen side, and then hopefully I want to play this and this and just open things up a bit here. That looks to be a decent plan. And his rook can never really, after I push c4, it can never really sit on d4 because I'm always going to be able to just move my queen or something and then make it move. So I'm feeling cautiously optimistic about this, I think. It may be like last game, I should be switching tabs and going on Reddit or something, but I tend to do this thing where when I don't do that, I usually lose, which is very weird. But when I get in the mindset that I at tournaments, I'm sitting at the board and I don't want to like get up and walk around, it's very hard to get out of that mindset, and very frequently I've lost games because I'm missing things. I guess we'll just go ahead and do that. I need to clear my head. I need to get a fresh look at the board. What is this? That can't be a photo. That's heavily doctored. I don't know why this is here. Right? Am I going nuts? Most of these things I've already seen before. Because I was, of course, on Reddit waiting for Elliott to actually message me back. Okay. Alright. So this is... yeah, but how was I going to respond to that after? Okay. I never did quite answer that question. Okay, so we are going to go forward with this move. Yeah, but after the bishop moves, how was I going to respond to this threat? I never quite figured that out. That's unfortunate. Damn. Damn. I stopped calculating too early. One of my biggest weaknesses. Maybe... Okay, I think I figured it out. Maybe... Whoops. Maybe after the bishop moves, I'll push g5, and then look to push here. I think that might be the best play. I mean, I'm really weakening my light squares, but as long as I can just keep that bishop on a respectable diagonal, I might be able to get away with this. Because I'd like to push this, but the problem is that this pawn is just hanging. And I shouldn't look to trade queens. I don't want to draw here. Maybe against a higher rated opponent, but that's not something that I should be looking at doing. Okay, so after I do play this, and I play this, f4, if the rook does go to h5, I need to Yeah, London's not fun, Elliott. The London's fun because I made it fun. Um, I need to keep in mind that this pawn is going to be pinned to my queen as long as my queen is here, if the rook does go to h5. So let's see. Now if I push rook here, does he take on h6? I wonder. Can he do that? I still don't think so. Maybe I'm crazy. Let's do it. I only have 8 minutes. I have to speed things up a little bit. Yeah, maybe this is too weakening. Not sure, but this is getting pushed, that's for sure. Yeah, hopefully I can get some aggressive play here. I mean, this is me attacking on the dark squares, and it's not my original plan, but I think things are a little bit more urgent than we previously thought. I'm probably just using this bishop strictly for defense, I think, which maybe that's not going to work out, but oh well. It's my fault, if anything. Hoping this tempo is useful as well. And maybe I should just keep this here. I don't know. It's going to be so hard to attack if I do decide to do that. So hard to attack. Yeah, that's just going to be a gigantic pain. Very double-edged if I do push that pawn. I'm definitely not considering capturing, of course, but yeah, very double-edged. I mean, after he moves the rook and I push the pawn, if he does take, of course I'm going to take immediately, and then rook takes. I mean, he's threatening mate here, and I mean, I have a very easy defense. I can just play rook f7. I think this looks to me like it defends, and then against any check, I'll very likely just go rook g7, and it really doesn't look like he has anything, especially after sacrificing a rook. His bishop's out of the game. I don't think he's going to be able to checkmate my king with just a queen and a rook when my queen and rook are right here. It's not like, you know, my queen's off over on a4 or something, disregarding that this would get captured, but just off somewhere else. Like, my queen is perfectly placed in this game, so I think that's about the only good thing I've done so far. And it was actually on accident, so that says a lot about me, this game. Okay, that's about what we thought, and we have calculated to move here, for better or for worse. And of course, if he just moves the queen here, I looked at this maybe without vocalizing it. Likely I'll just move rook f6. That's definitely possible. So hopefully I'm the one in the driver's seat now. He does have a very difficult question to answer about his pawn on e3. Without his dark squared bishop, he's going to have a problem defending these dark squares, so hopefully I've turned the tables. And we have a time edge. I shouldn't be looking at that, that's just totally bad form, but I'll take anything at this point, right? A 2-0 lead would be fairly insurmountable. I don't think I've lost a game as white against Elliott in maybe 6 years, but he does get me when I play black. Not a serious game anyway. Blitz games, of course, are a bit of a crapshoot with me. Speaking of crapshoot, how about Mitch Trubisky the other day? That wasn't too bad. Okay, focus. Focus on switching tabs. This is a crapshoot right here. What is going on? Yikes. Oh, I wonder what their subreddit looks like. Never thought about that. Jesus. Maybe. No, it wasn't first team defense though. It was still impressive. I think he had third string against third string, and there was some first stringers thrown in there. Unless there was another practice that I'm not aware of, but this might be misleading. This is, of course, total nonsense. Trubisky's, at least so far, passes the eye test, and Tim Tebow, I think we knew all along, wasn't really a quarterback. Although I was a believer. Two-minute time edge. I shouldn't be looking at that, but can't help myself sometimes. And we have the center. I mean, how can I lose this? I mean, this seems like I'm doing most things right. I imagine he's looking at rook takes h6. And I hope he's getting very discouraged. And I think it's very likely that he'll play the move anyway. Because at this point, maybe you should play the move anyway. You're down, your attack's been parried. Against a higher rated opponent, you may just want to complicate things. That's very possible. Although if I were him, I would be totally happy with the draw and then just hope I mess up his white or something, which is possible. If you do your work in the opening, almost anything can happen. Definitely getting down to the nitty-gritty here, though. Only on move 21, too. I don't know how we're going to survive moving the 15-2 next season. It's going to be very interesting, but if the Pro Chess League can do it, I'm sure we'll figure something out. Okay, so deep on his hip. If I capture on e3, he can play rook e1, and then that could be a bit of a problem. So maybe I'll just hold off on that. Maybe I need to guard my d-pawn. Perhaps. Maybe I need to guard my damn h-pawn before he wisens up and actually makes that sacrifice. Let's see. Yeah, is that something that I actually want to allow, though? Yeah, here is that something that I actually am looking to do here? Very interesting. I'd like it if I could get my bishop here after taking, but that's not going to be possible, not ever. So bishop f3. This is a solid move. Let's see. Damn. Yeah, this is not incredibly easy to figure out. Fortunately, if he moves the rook there too early, the rook's pinned, or the pawn's pinned to the rook. So maybe we'll go rook here. I do need another piece into the game. And then that way, after we do go rook here, we can actually take this pawn. And if he goes rookie 1, then I can push this here. And that looks okay. Maybe. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Capture. That might work. Although I'm still worried about my d-pawn. Should I be? Is that something to worry about? Maybe. Definitely maybe, listen to me. Maybe we should play it safe. Let's try that. Let's play it safe and just play rook here. Let's force him to do something. I mean, maybe this could just be totally wrong, but as time gets lower and lower, we're gonna have some issues here. Oh. Okay, yeah, I should have just taken this. I totally missed that. If he does play rookie 1, I can just take this. And I do win a pawn, but maybe my position's not so good after that. If he takes my queen, of course I just promote, and then take his rook. Damn. Okay. Well, my position's slightly more solid. He has to come up with another good move, so maybe we'll be fine. Maybe we will be fine. Yeah, now, if any rook goes to the e-file, it's going to be that one. I have to be careful about this g6 square. This is a little bit absurd. It might be something that I just shouldn't be allowing whatsoever. But I guess now I can at least play queen f6 and start to hunker down a bit. And the reason why my plans changed is it's because of the time. Okay, so this is a bit interesting. So what are we taking with? Probably the queen so I can check really quick. Perhaps. Check and then play d4 here. It's a possibility. Yeah, that could work. Let's do this. I'm not at all worried about bishop taking here. That's just totally off the radar at this point. So he could block with his queen. That's maybe working. Although I push. Yeah, no, maybe he would have some trouble after that. But yeah, I mean, this bishop is basically frozen. My f-pawn, or this f-pawn, is much more valuable than my b-pawn. Okay, so I should probably get pushing, I think. He's not taking this if I push. I'll just take here and open up this file. That's not something that he should be going for. Let's see. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Hopefully this is putting some pressure on him. His king is maybe safer than mine, depending on how he chooses to play this. If he takes my b-pawn, then that will very quickly reverse itself, as he would open a nice file against his king. I think it goes without saying, if we do get into his time scramble, my commentary will probably ramp down a little bit, as winning the game is the most important thing. I never posted this. Oh, that's a damn shame. Well, we'll post it now. Oh, that's too little too late. Oh. Whoops. At least I'm recording, I guess. Okay, and I did go to the team and not my personal Facebook. Very interesting position. I'm glad I at least have the initiative. This was the main plan, to at least have that. Okay. I didn't actually even consider what to do after this. Probably queen takes. Probably. But I could be convinced otherwise, I suppose. Yeah, queen takes looks decent. Let's go for that. I mean, he could play a move like this, but I'm happy to see trades at this point. This whole game has been really quite difficult. I'm definitely going to be playing the time here. Try to make some complicated moves. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't really take with the bishop. You know, obviously this is hanging, and taking with the rook. Maybe then he can actually take that with his bishop. I'm not totally sure. Oh no. No, then I would have this. Yeah, maybe taking with the rook was the best move. Yeah, that's a damn shame. Yeah, okay. That's a good move. Okay, so we'll come back here, I think. Right? He's not playing like bishop d5, is he? Does he have the chance to do that? Doesn't look like it. No, I think I'm okay. Bishop d5 check. I just moved my king to h8. Seems fine. And he's got some difficulties here. I mean, I know my position's not fantastic, but minute and a half left. He's got two free pawns that he can take, or quote-unquote free, but both of them are extremely poisoned. So since they are poisoned, I can just start sending them at him. Okay, this was our move, but hey, we should take a little bit more time and make sure that's the crow. Okay, well, every other move looks like horse shit, so let's actually we'll go ahead and go for that. I don't know what else I would play there. I would maybe be a little scared if this rook was here, but then again, maybe not. Yeah, so he's down to a minute at this point, so this has got to be somewhat difficult here. They're both poisoned, so what I was saying was that I can just start sending them at his king and look to break things up. If this pawn ever moves, obviously I'm coming here. I mean, just my dark square dominance is really something impressive here. Okay, so I can win a pawn here. I can play rook takes. Not entirely sure that's something I want to do. Maybe it is. I would win this pawn, but am I winning the game? I don't even know if I'm winning the game if I do that move. Takes. Yeah, his dark squares are going to be. Yeah, he's going to have some problems if I do that, I think. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. I think we'll go for that. Absent another move, I'm not really sure what else I'm going to be able to play. But having my rook here is just, combined with this bishop is just going to be too good, and I think that's a winning advantage. Yeah, so let's go for this. So I think I actually am winning an endgame somehow out of an opposite colored bishop, which, I mean, that's not unheard of. Opposite colored bishops is a tiny bit overblown, but it is more drawish than most endgames, that's for sure. Okay. So I think we can go for this. Yep. seems to be, everything seems to be fine here. And we'll go here, and this rook is just too powerful. There's not a good way at all of dealing with this. And I don't even know if he can refuse the queen trade. Queen c1? I don't know if that's a move you want to be playing. My rook comes to d8. Oh, I cancel the pre-move when I do that? That's a shame. But my rook comes to d8, and then it's coming to d2. I mean, I can do almost anything I want. Okay, this is Elliott really trying to get something here. Sacrificing a rook is not the way to do it. But okay. So I have to take this, right? There's no way I can decline. And I'm not unguarding anything once I do. So I don't think I'm getting three-folded either. Yeah, that seems to be working. Let's go for it. I don't think I'm getting three-folded. I'm certainly not getting three-folded with that. Okay. Let's see. So I think I can just pull my bishop back to where it was, and everything looks pretty hunky-dory here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. He has queen h5. I have some time here. He'll have queen h5 check, and then my king goes back to g8. And then it looks like he runs out of checks, which is really the only thing I need to be incredibly afraid of. And it's important to note, after bishop does come back, he does not have bishop c2. I can just play queen e1, and then I just win my mate after that. So I think this is working. Let's go ahead and go for this. And we're up a rook. So this is, of course, very promising. I thought he was going to actually make me play this endgame, which is maybe the best move, but I mean, my rook would probably be too dominating, and you can't defend any of the dark squares. He might just resign here, even though I guess he only has 10 seconds left. He should try something. Okay, yeah, there it is. Alright, not too bad. Okay, so this video did come with some delay, some scheduling issues, but we will look to speed up this process a little bit, so definitely look for more videos coming soon. Alright, have a good night, and I'll see you all later. Bye.